We have invested in solar. We've invested in wind. We've invested in the technologies that also improve our air quality. And we know that San Antonio needs to do a better job with air quality, right? The city's growing. We're going to double in population. We need to make sure that our children are breathing clean air. So the city of San Antonio has been proactive in that as well. And 2 years ago, one of my colleagues who is now on council, Councilwoman Anna Sandoval, and I work together to ensure that we have an air quality ordinance, a proactive air quality strategy that doesn't just wait for the federal government to tell us what to do, but we do it because it's good for our community's health. Under Anna's leadership, she now chairs the Community Health and Equity Council Committee. We're also embarking on a very important initiative that I hope you get involved in, and it's called the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan for the City of San Antonio. Baked into our strategy, and the very first thing that this city council did was sign on to the Paris Climate Agreement to ensure that we recognize we don't need to find out who's to blame, but we recognize that the climate in this world is changing. If we're going to make a difference in communities far after us, it's going to happen at the local level. So we've gone and embarked on a climate action and adaptation plan that needs your input, needs your guidance to help make a reality, but we're implementing those strategies, knowing that if we don't do anything, it's going to cost us a lot of money, it's going to cost us our quality of life, and it's going to cost our lives. We saw what Hurricane Harvey did to the Texas and Louisiana coasts. It caused $100 billion in damages this summer. And we know it was the 10th such natural disaster that cost over $1 billion just this year. More of that is coming, and if we don't prepare ourselves as a community to deal with those kinds of damages, to ensure that we have a sustainable community, but also a quality community, then it's going to cost us money, it's going to cost us quality of life, and it's going to cost us lives. So our city council has said enough. We're not going to play the political games. We're going to make sure that we do the right thing, and we planned for the reality that is coming towards us. And so we have a great plan underway. I hope you do get involved, and I hope you be part of it, and I hope you continue to encourage your city council members, whether they're in District 7 or anywhere else, that we continue to work towards these new strategies to embrace what will be continuing to be one of the best cities in America. So thank you all very much. Thank you for being part of this effort. Earth Day 2018 is a measure of success for the community today. It's also a recognition of all the hard work that was done before us and all the hard work that is ahead of us. So thank you for being here. And before I leave, I want to recognize one man that has been on the city council who has worked in the community beyond that to ensure that these kinds of values and these kinds of programs are available to us and are sustained, and that is our former councilman, Joe Aldrete. Joe, can you come up to the stage, please? As I mentioned, Joe was doing this kind of thing when it wasn't cool, and really when no one knew what he was talking about. But we got it done, and now we are one of the leaders in sustainability in the country, and you should be proud of that. And we're going to continue to get better. But on behalf of the city of San Antonio, Joe, I wanted to provide you with this certificate of appreciation, which says it's awarded to Joe Aldrete for many years of commitment to helping San Antonio celebrate Earth Day, awarded this 21st day of April 2018 on behalf of myself and my colleagues.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Viva!
Viva. Put your hands together for our mayor, Ron Nirenberg, and the whole city council. They're moving us in the right direction, folks.
Happy Earth Day, everyone. Thank you for being here. And for my speech today, I'm going to be giving a brief lecture on the effects of, just kidding, I'm not. But I did study climate science when I was a graduate student at Stanford many years ago, maybe 20 or so years ago now. And that's when we were first discovering, or scientists were first coming out and saying that soot, or black carbon, which you'll see come out of who's ever seen an 18-wheeler, blow that thing and that black exhaust comes out? That's soot. And scientists were first finding that soot also had a greenhouse gas impact, just like carbon dioxide, but in fact that it was much more pronounced and that it happened a lot faster. But not only that, soot's also bad for your health. So when the mayor said that we passed an anti-idling ordinance, that was one of those win-wins where you're protecting people's health in the short term from soot, and you're also making a long-term investment in climate sustainability. So I do want to applaud the city council that passed it before I was on there. So thank you, Mayor, for your leadership on that anti-idling ordinance. If you all, I also, before I go into more remarks, I really want to say thank you to everyone who participated in putting this event together. It was a long journey, and thank you for doing it. Thanks to the West Side Development Corporation for taking the lead on that. Thank you. Leonard and Don, thank you. To Councilman Joe Alderete for his stewardship over so many years. Without it, we would not be here today, still celebrating Earth Day in this beautiful park. It's one of the prime parks of the city. And also all those folks who are on the committee, if you were on there, thank you very much for all of your work. And I think this is a beautiful way to do it this year. We're on the grass, so I think it's, I feel a little bit more connected to the earth. So when Ron Nirenberg took office, when the mayor took office, we did one thing on that very first day, and that was sign on to the Paris Climate Accords as a city. And that was it. Thank God for that. I remember I was wondering, how are we going to do this if Ron doesn't win? How are we possibly going to pass this at the council? And I'm glad he did. He made it happen swiftly, painlessly, quickly. And today, now we have to do the work, right? And that means involving the community and our experts in developing a plan that's going to work for everyone. It's going to be a long process. There are going to be a lot of disagreements. We're probably going to talk about what we do with plastic bags. We're going to talk about what we do with parking. We're going to talk about mass transit. And yay, we're going to talk about a lot of things. But in the end, we will have something that's going to work for the community. So I encourage you to come to our council booth. It's in that far corner over there. And sign up on our mailing list, and you'll find out about a number of ways to get involved. Our city staff the Office of Sustainability has developed something called Meeting in a Box. So if you want to take it to your neighborhood association meeting, your PTA meeting, and talk about what climate change is and get people involved, that's one way that you're empowered to do so. One of the great, just like that anti-idling ordinance in diesel, this climate action and adaptation plan is going to be twice as effective, or it's just going to have a lot of benefits. And I'm going to give you about 3 of them. One of them is, number one, it's going to clean our air because it's going to force us to look at our emissions. Has anyone ever seen the brown haze over downtown? That's right. And with this, we'll be able to clean that up. Number 2, we'll be making the long-term investment in our climate. And you know that San Antonio is affected by climate change. We have all seen the more intense storms. We have all felt the hotter days and seen the higher utility bills that we get in the summer. But number 3, it's going to also help us with adaptation. So that means that we will be prepared for for more intense storms and hotter days. So I'm really excited about moving forward on that front as well. And before I leave the stage, I'm just going to make one small plea. Who participated in Basura Bash this year? Anyone? I did. All right. Well, we had three volunteer teams over at OP Schnabel Park, all students from different high schools. And can you guess what the number 1 item that they found was? Yes, I hear you saying it. It is. It was the plastic water bottle. Of all the disposable items that we use, I find this one to be really hard to swallow because we all have excellent water at our taps that's delivered practically for free. And whenever I walk into a room or into a building and I see lots of plastic water bottles, this immediate judgment runs through my head, and I say, oh, I guess they don't have running water in this building, or they must not have paid their SAWS bill. But anyway, I ask you to reconsider, if you do one thing this Earth Day, is to reconsider one habit that you or someone in your family may have, that you can encourage them to consider doing something to preserve our Earth.